Hello everyone, I'm Veronica, I make clothes and I have a degree in clothing manufacturing. I love sewing and sharing about clothes and how to care for them. I think nowadays it's such an underrated skill to have to know how to choose the clothes that you're going to wear and how you're going to care for them in order for them to last for a longer while. And I'm here to help. I've been posting short content on YouTube for a while and also on other platforms. It's been a long way until I actually wanted to start making longer videos because shorter content is really difficult for me because I have to pack all the information that I want to share in 30, 60, 90 seconds. But on YouTube, I can share more. But I'm happy that I finally reached the moment I gathered all the courage. So here is the first video on YouTube that I'm going to share. My intention for this channel is to not only tackle the clothes, but also other textiles from our lives, how to choose them, how to care for them, and basically anything that is connected to them. So clothes, textiles, that's the vibe. So if you're an adult and nobody taught you that, and you have no idea how to handle that part of your life, this should be useful for you. And if you're a student in fashion or clothing making, I think you'll also find it interesting and useful for you as well. If that sounds helpful, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video so more people will see it. That's how the algorithm works. But enough for introductions and for all the blabbering I had to do in order for you to get to know me better. So let's get into the topic. In this very first video, I'll be talking about autumn wardrobe essentials and we'll focus on the fabrics, how to choose them and which ones to avoid. The thing that matters the most when choosing autumn clothing is material, of course. As the weather turns colder, windier, and wetter, the right fabric can make all the difference in warmth, layering, and comfort. Before diving into the fabrics that do a good job for autumn clothes, let's talk about the types that are available to us. Remember that when we talk about fabrics, there are two main approaches: to categorize them based on origin or based on the weave, basically the structure, the way they are made. According to their origin, materials fall into three main categories: natural, synthetics, and artificial. Natural fibers are the ones that come from natural sources and are not going through an intense chemical process to become a fiber. For example, cotton, wool, linen, silk. Cotton comes from the cotton plants. Wool is a hair of the animals such as sheep and goats. Linen comes from the flax plants. And silk comes from the cocoons of silkworms. Natural fibers are the best choice for autumn because they're breathable, comfortable, and naturally insulating. Wool in particular provides excellent warmth while still allowing for airflow, making it perfect for layering. Since these fibers come from natural sources, they are biodegradable. And also they are a more sustainable option for both you and the planet. Now let's talk about synthetics. Synthetic fibers such as polyester, acryl, nylon, and others are made from petroleum. Yes, that petroleum. And as you could guess, they go through an intense chemical process to become a fiber. Because how can you make a fiber out of this? While they're durable and affordable, they're non-biodegradable and contribute to microplastic pollution. But on the plus side, their heat-trapping properties can provide quick warmth on chilly days. But they also trap moisture and reduce airflow, which may leave you feeling sticky if you're overheating or get caught in the rain. So yeah, this is what synthetics are about. The middle ground between natural and synthetics are artificial fibers, which are also called man-made. As you could guess, they have to go through some chemical processes in order to become a fiber. Otherwise, why would we call them man-made? They are made from a natural source, such as wood pulp. They're chemically processed and use a lot of water, which makes them more eco-friendly than synthetics, but still not as sustainable as natural fibers. Some artificial fibers that you most probably heard about are viscose, rayon, modal, lyocell, tencel, and others. In autumn, they can be a good option for layering pieces, such as blouses, dresses, linings, since they're breathable and soft. Still, it's worth keeping the environmental impact in mind when choosing them over natural alternatives. And now let's dive into each type of fiber and what you should pay attention to when buying autumn clothes. Natural fibers. Linen is often thought as a summer fabric, but in autumn it still has its place, especially in heavier weaves like linen twill. It's breathable, moisture-wicking, which helps regulate body temperature when the weather fluctuates between warm days and chilly evenings. Pure linen wrinkles a lot and easily, so if you want a more polished look, blends of synthetics or artificial fibers can offer both structure and comfort. Another natural fiber is cotton, which is one of the most versatile fibers for autumn, available in everything from lightweight shirting to thick flannel and corduroy. It's soft, breathable, comfortable, but it also absorbs moisture quickly, which can be less ideal in rainy weather. For a neater look and easier care, cotton blends with a small amount of synthetic fiber, up to 6%, are a practical option. Think cotton sweatshirts, shorts, and heavier weaves with layering through the season. Let's discuss about another natural fiber, such as silk. Most probably you're not going to think about silk as an autumn fiber, but let me change your mind. Silk is excellent in autumn because of its natural temperature regulating properties. It keeps you warm when it's chilly, but don't make you overheat indoors. Silk is lightweight, yet insulating, which makes it perfect for blouses, linings, or layering pieces under knits and jackets. However, it's delicate, prone to wrinkling and staining, and requires careful maintenance. So better reserve it for dressier outfits or when you want a touch of luxury. And remember that silk is a very good lining material. So if you want to buy a jacket, look for a silk lining. And now let's talk about the most obvious choice for autumn or any colder season: wool. Wool comes into its own in autumn. Beyond the heavy knits we associate with winter, lighter versions like merino are breathable, moisture-wicking, odor-resistant, making them perfect for layering. Wool naturally regulates temperature, keeping warm in the wind while preventing overheating indoors. From sweaters and coats to scarves and socks, it's one of the most practical autumn fiber. And let's also discuss hemp. Hemp is a strong, durable, and eco-friendly fiber that works well in autumn garments. Heavier hemp fabrics are perfect for jackets, trousers, and structured layering pieces. It's moisture-wicking and softens over time, making it both practical and sustainable. And now, let's dive into artificial fibers. There are plenty of artificial fibers on the market, similar to synthetics actually, since they are chemically processed. So we are not going to discuss all of them, but here are some of the most popular ones, and you can find them easily in stores. Rayon. Rayon is a soft, smooth fiber made from wood pulp, like basically any other artificial fiber. In autumn, it's best used for blouses, shirts, and dresses layered under knits and jackets. While not as insulating as wool or cotton, rayon adds softness and drape to outfits. But it can wrinkle easily and it isn't highly moisture-wicking, so pairing it with warmer layers or outerwear help maintain comfort in cooler, damp weather. Another artificial fiber is modal. Modal is a refined type of rayon made from beech wood pulp. It's soft, durable, and maintains its shape over time. In autumn, modal works well for long-sleeve tops, dresses, and linings. Its smooth texture and moderate breathability make it comfortable under sweaters or jackets, and it's low maintenance enough for everyday wear. Lyocell and tencel. These two fibers are both types of rayon produced via a closed-loop process from wood pulp. Lyocell is the general term, while tencel is a branded version made using an especially eco-friendly method. In autumn, these fibers are excellent for shirts, blouses, dresses, or layering pieces. They are soft, breathable, moisture-managing, making them comfortable under sweaters or jackets, while also adding a smooth, polished look. Tencel in particular offers a luxurious feel and has a sustainable production process, making it a top choice for eco-conscious autumn wardrobes. Now let's discuss about synthetic fibers. Although I usually encourage people to avoid synthetic fibers, for autumn and colder weather, their heat-trapping property can actually be an advantage. For example, when I feel very cold and want to warm up quickly, I'll put on a synthetic sweater and in about 15 minutes, I'm already warm. If I start moving around or doing any movements like these ones, the warming effect is even faster. So in that sense, synthetics work much better than a blanket because it also allows for me to stand and also to continue what I do, but meanwhile also getting warmer. And I also don't have to turn into a couch potato to warm up, and I can still not disintegrate into the couch and then not really feel like continuing my work. So yeah, that's a win-win for that. However, it is very important to be aware of their limits. Synthetics don't let your skin breathe. They trap both heat and moisture, which can lead to sweating and an uncomfortable feeling if you're indoors or moving between warm and cool spaces. For example, when you use public transportation and it's suffocating inside and cold outside. They also tend to retain odors more easily, something you'll notice if you wear them all day, if you sweat a lot, or get caught in the rain. From an environmental point of view, most synthetics are petroleum-based and contribute to plastic waste and microfibers in water systems. So while they can be practical for quick warmth, they're still not the most sustainable option. A thoughtful approach for autumn is to use synthetics strategically, perhaps as a mid-layer for warmth while keeping natural or eco-friendly fibers like wool, cotton, tencel, and others close to your skin for breathability and comfort. Also, remember that synthetic fibers are quite known skin irritators, so you also want to avoid that. And you could also wear clothes with a mix of fibers to get a compromising solution. And now let's discuss fabrics by weaves and construction. Besides the fiber itself, the way a fabric is built, its weave or knit, makes a huge difference. It affects how warm the fabric feels, how it drapes on the body, how much it stretches, and whether it works best as a base layer or an outer layer. So when you're choosing cotton cloths, the weave is just as important as the material. The first main category is woven fabrics. Woven fabrics are made by crossing two sets of threads at right angles. One set runs up and down, called warp, and the other side to side, called weft. This creates a stable structure that doesn't stretch much. Woven fabrics are durable, hold their shape well, and are commonly used for shirts, trousers, coats, and jackets. The biggest thing to know about woven fabrics is that the weave pattern, basically how the threads are interlaced, changes how the fabric looks, feels, and performs. And here are the most useful ones for autumn. Twill. Twill is recognizable by its diagonal rib pattern. It's strong, drapes nicely, and resists wrinkles. You'll find it in chinos, corduroy, and outerwear. Twill is warm, but still flexible for layering. Plain weave, which is the simplest of our underweave. It's lightweight but strong, making it perfect for shirts, blouses, and underlayers you can wear under sweaters or jackets without adding bulk. Herringbone and houndstooth. These are decorative versions of twill. Most probably you saw them somewhere, but you just didn't know that they are called this way. They're often used in coats, blazers, and heavier shirts. They give structure, warmth, and a stylish textured look. And here are some well-known woven fabrics you'll often see in walk-in closets. Flannel, a soft fabric with a brushed surface, which is usually made in plain or twill weave. It's warm but breathable, ideal for shirts, skirts, and cozy pajamas. Canvas or duck. It's a dense, plain woven fabric that's tough and slightly water resistant. It's great for jackets and sturdy trousers, especially in rainy or windy weather. Gabardine. This fabric is a tightly woven twill that's smooth and durable. It's often used in trench coats, tailored pants, and structured skirts. It's lightweight but strong, and it resists wind and light rain. Corduroy. It's a type of twill with raised ribs, called wales, that add texture and extra warmth. It's perfect for pants, jackets, and skirts. It gives a cozy and retro look. Another type of fabric is Melton wool. It's a dense, felt-like wool fabric with a smooth surface. It's naturally wind-resistant and very warm, perfect for coats and capes. Boucle. It's a textured fabric with looped yarns, soft and warm but breathable. It's often used for jackets, cardigans, and cozy coats with a stylish twist, and it's actually not very often used in autumn clothes. Sherpa or Tidy fleece. It's a fluffy, pile-knit fabric resembling sheep's wool. It's super cozy and insulating, often used for linings, casual jackets, and hoodies. And now let's discuss about the knitted materials. Knit materials are made differently. Instead of being woven, the threads are looped together like hand knitting. This makes them stretchy, soft, and flexible, so they move easily with your body. They're comfortable and are often used for t-shirts, sweaters, and activewear. And here are the main types you'll see in autumn clothes. Jersey knit. Lightweight, stretchy, and breathable. It's very common in t-shirts and casual tops because it drapes softly over the body. Rib knit. Rib knit is a type of fabric that has raised vertical lines, basically the ribs, giving it extra strength and warmth. It's found in sweaters, cuffs, and turtlenecks because it holds its shape well. Interlock or double knit. A thicker, smoother knit that's warmer than jersey. It's great for dresses, sweaters, and casual autumn wear. Fleece or sweatshirt knit. It's a knit fabric brushed on the inside for softness and insulation, and it's used for hoodies, sweatshirts, and layering pieces because it's cozy but still breathable. And besides the knit and woven fabrics, there are still some other fabrics which have special treatments or construction, and they handle the autumn weather very well. These are specialty and technical fabrics. So let's go through some of them. Waxed or coated fabrics. These fabrics are treated with wax or coatings like polyurethane. They are water resistant and windproof, perfect for jackets and coats. Quilted and insulated fabrics. These fabrics are stitched in layers with padding in between. They're lightweight but very warm, often used for vests and outerwear. Soft shell is a modern technical fabric that combines a woven outer layer with a soft insulating inner layer. It's lightweight, wind resistant, and offers water repellent, which is ideal for transitional jackets. And now about a wool fabric, which is actually called boiled wool. This fabric has been felted and shrunk, making it dense, warm, and slightly stretchy. It's great for jackets, cardigans, and unlined coats. Another fabric, which is a little more on the synthetic side, is neoprene or scuba. It's a thick, spongy knit fabric that insulates well and resists wind, often used for modern coats, structured skirts, and fashion-forward outerwear. So it's not your regular wool coat type of fabric. And the last technological fabric we are going to discuss is Gore-Tex, or similar membranes. These are high-tech layered fabrics that are waterproof yet breathable. They are perfect for functional autumn outerwear, raincoats, and hiking gear. Most probably you saw it on the streets or in the hiking gear if you're more into this type of active sports. And now that we covered fabrics origins and types of weaves and knits, let's look at the properties fabrics can have. Because these depend not only on the fiber itself, but also on the weave. So this is why it was very important to know about the fibers, but also the weave. Other factors that are really influencing the way a fabric behaves is the density and overall structure of the material. Because a cotton plain weave can be very lightweight, but also can be very heavy. So it's quite a mix of factors that make a fabric the way it is. Together, these factors determine how much warmth a fabric can hold, how well it blocks wind, and whether it works better as a base layer or an outer layer. So let's go through some key properties to consider when choosing clothes that will keep you comfortable during autumn and cooler weather. Warmth and insulation. Autumn weather can fluctuate between crisp mornings and mild afternoons, so fabric that provides natural insulation are key. Wool, merino, and heavier cotton or hemp fabrics trap heat while still allowing your body to breathe. Layering lighter pieces like silk, tencel, or linen blends under insulating outerwear helps maintain warmth without feeling bulky. Another factor is the breathability and moisture-wicking properties. Even in cooler weather, your body generates heat as you move. Breathable fabrics allow air to circulate, while moisture-wicking fibers pull sweat away from the skin to prevent stickiness. Natural fibers like wool, cotton, hemp, and artificial fibers like lyocell or modal excel at this, keeping you comfortable whether you're indoors or outdoors. Remember what I told you about the synthetics? They trap heat and do the exact opposite that natural and artificial fibers do. They don't keep you comfortable. Water resistance is another factor that we have to consider, because autumn often comes with rain and wind, so fabrics with water-resistant properties or treatments are invaluable. Wool naturally repels light rain, while polyester, nylon, and treated cotton or blends are useful for jackets, coats, and outer layers. So what I recommend to do is to pair water-resistant outerwear with breathable layers underneath to stay both dry and comfortable. And let's go through one more factor that influences the properties of a fabric: the weight and layering potential. The weight of a fabric affects how it drapes, insulates, and interacts with other layers. Heavier fabrics like thick wool, corduroy, or hemp work well as outer layer, while lighter fabrics such as silk, tencel, or thin cotton are ideal for base layers. Choosing fabrics that layer easily allows you to adapt to changing temperatures throughout the day. You know, everything we just covered and discussed about, such as fabrics, weaves, layering, properties, and so on, is just a very small part of building your autumn wardrobe. When I was putting this video together, I realized there's so much more I want to share, and that's why I created something special, which I actually think might be helpful for the ones of you that need a visual representation of information. So I got you. The last couple of weeks I was working behind the scenes on my autumn clothes guide, and I'm finally ready to share it with you. This is actually the second edition of my seasonal guides. The first one was for summer, and this autumn edition is packed with even more practical tips. Inside, you'll find the best fabrics to look for this season, including some modern technical options you might not know about, and we didn't discuss about them today, plus a lot of autumn-friendly shoes and easy cheat sheets you can take with you when shopping. Basically, it's everything I consider to be important while building a autumn wardrobe, put at your fingertips and gather together. If that sounds helpful, you can get it from my Buy Me a Coffee page. The link is in the description. And if you decide to support my work that way, it really does mean the world, because it helps me keep creating more content like this. And if you'd like more regular updates and a peek into how I'm making clothes, you'll find me on Instagram sharing more behind the scenes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.